Welcome back, everyone, to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, talking all things living agelessly, caregiving, entrepreneurship, life itself. And Phoenix is joining us. So say hi, Phoenix. He's 13, which is pretty decent for a cat's age. I think that's 74. So that's pretty a good ripe age. For those of you who are that good ripe age, or for those of you who are family caregivers, this one's and those of you who are working and taking care of a spouse, someone with a challenge, or someone who's older and just not able to get around as before, I think this one's for you. This one's definitely something that I don't know how we have not broached already, because it has to do so much with interpersonal relationship and bridging these generational gaps and just understanding how the challenge of trying to balance life and meeting our needs versus the needs of those who are taken care of, and not allowing ourselves to get hooked in one way or the other. So what am I talking about today? Codependency. That's a big word. What it really means is, it's a, I'll give a definition. Not sure, it's not official dictionary definition, but it's the most common thing I've seen. It says when, especially when it comes to family caregivers and to anyone taking care of or in any relationship. Let's just say if you're in a relationship, this may also be for you too. So when the caregiver sense of purpose and self-worth becomes overly reliant on meeting the parent or spouses or the person you're taking care of, meeting their needs at the expense of your own well-being. Now, we always talk about oxygen mask first, but here's the thing about codependency, and we're going to talk a little bit how to manage it. But what does it do? What happens is you feel the need to help, you want to help, but then every single time, do you find sometimes the minute you turn your back or you're not there or you just have to take a break, something happens and they need you again. And you come again and you're there, you're there, you're there, you're there. You're the only one always answering the calls. You're the only one always answering when something crops up. And sometimes it's nothing that crops up, really, not a true emergency. But you feel obligated or guilty or needed. And it may have to do with our internal needs. Let's face it, we have to admit that sometimes we, the fixers, especially as caregivers, we want to fix everything. And so we can come into that, and it's not on purpose, but we can fall into that trap where we are hooked by supplying the other person's needs to the extent that we lose ourselves in the process. So have you started to lose yourself in your caregiving? Have you started to lose who you are, your sense, your direction, your vision, your plans, your purpose in a relationship, just in taking care of or in managing the household or in managing your business? Is there that some person or that needing you that is now draining you? That's where codependency is dangerous. It's those hooks, as a friend of mine calls it. So you're hooked in and you just feel like you can't go. Guilt, shame, needing to help, whatever it be. So how do you manage that? Well, according to the suggestions are, again, make boundaries and enforce them. No means no, or I can't just yet, or I can't do this for you just yet. Seek support from others. There must be family and friends who can come, neighbors, health aid, someone to come and give you a break at least at some point, whatever time you decide. In a relationship, you've got to maybe, what is suggested is you sit and you address the concerns. And if the person is not even willing to meet you halfway, well, then that's another decision. But prioritizing self care, oxygen mask first, knowing when to ask for help, asking for help, recognizing that you're being hooked, recognizing that the heart in you, that's where the danger is. That's where the danger comes of being hooked. And also encouraging the person to take agency, to do something for themselves. Many times what you're being called for or what you're being asked to do is something that they can do or they should do. So should they seek help? Should they maybe go and call a friend? Perhaps they can help with their own house chores. If it's in a relationship, perhaps they need to. Maybe you need. Maybe there's therapy on both sides. But as far as it comes to parents and spouses and people who we're really close to, they know our buttons. They got our buttons. Don't be hooked in it to the point where you lose yourself. So set your boundaries, set your clear goals and visions for yourself. How many times do we say that? Is so important. Learn when to say no, learn when to stop, and learn when to say enough is enough and recognize that to help doesn't mean to lose oneself. From my heart to yours, Dr. Lana signing out on this day 133 of Lana's Little Things. You're going to make it. Mwah.